Hello, Malala. Can you tell us about some of the challenges that you faced in your home country of Pakistan?
Yes, in my hometown in Swat Valley, a terrorist group called the Taliban has taken over. They began to target women, saying they could not go outside and they should not go to school. They began bombing all girls' schools, preventing children to the right of education. I tried to overcome this challenge by becoming a child's activist for child education and standing up against the Taliban.
And here is Ishmael Beya. Can you tell us about your challenges?
In my village in Africa, it was raided by a bunch of rebels, and eventually, while I was on the run, I was forced to be a child soldier, and we were drugged, and we were forced to do terrible things to these other people, and eventually I was taken away by a force, and we were put into rehabilitation, where we were stricken of the effects of these drugs, and eventually we were reintegrated into our society, and that's how I overcame that challenge.
Wow, you guys have gone through a lot. Well, in my country of Iran, the Iranian Revolution sparked. And in the revolution, my parents took part in it. Every day they would go to demonstrations and marches in the streets to go against the Shah, who was basically a dictator. And this affected me too, because the Shah restricted something such as what we could wear or like what we could listen to. And I wanted to be modern like the other countries, have cool shoes, denim jackets, listen to Michael Jackson. But yeah, and I tried to overcome this by just rebelling. I didn't want to follow the rules.
How did the power of words affect you in your conflict?
Well, I loved reading books, and through books I learned a lot about the country and its past. And also I tried to speak out against our teachers who forced us to do things we didn't like.
How did you use the power of words to overcome your conflict?
Well, words gave me a chance to speak out and become a powerful activist. My dad's words helped inspire me and give me courage to speak the truth. I used words to inform others of what the Taliban are doing and to help stop them.
I used the power of words, not by myself originally, but it was the sergeant who forced me to go into the war, who convinced me that I was doing the right thing, and that's what made me join the army, and that's what made me go into this huge conflict. And then eventually, after all this conflict, I used the power of words to spread the word of the conflict so that it wouldn't happen again. Marjane, how do you think this relates to the Holocaust?
Well, as you know, in the Holocaust, there was a dictator of Adolf Hitler who used his words to convince the citizens that Jews were bad, and he made them think bad things. And that's kind of like our Shah, except he didn't have as much influence, and we could actually go against him.
So, my challenges relate to the book thief and to the Holocaust. For like Hitler and the Nazis, the Taliban seemed at first to be really good people. They seemed very wise and spoke of the love for Islam. They began to gain a lot of support in my hometown, and everyone liked them. But then, like the Nazis, they began to get really oppressive and take control of our valley. They started targeting women, similar to how they targeted Jews. And they began to take away our basic rights.
My conflict related to the Holocaust because the different sides thought each other were terrible people, and that's what sparked the war. And eventually they began to take every chance they could to fight each other and spread the propaganda about how these other people were terrible, and they used general citizens such as us to wage their war, such as the Nazis used the German public to criticize, and they used them to basically make the Jews villains, and that's how it relates to the Holocaust.
Well, all of us have seen the power of
I put it on my
words
story,
and how they
like,
can
joking.
change
I was
and
Happy
try to
Leprechaun
destroy
Day, and Kate was, like, freaking out
There's
about
many
it.
similarities and connections that can be made between us. I can see how me and Ish and Bo both use the power of words to inform others of what is happening in our home country.
Yeah.
I think, like the Holocaust, we should all spread the word so that this never happens again like they did after the Holocaust, and so that each of our individual conflicts never occur again, and that problem is solved.
Thank you for listening to our opinions and facts about countries, and our problems.
and our challenges that we overcome using the power boards.
Yeah. Thank you.